What's up guys, Magic Knives here, and in this video I'm bringing to you an Airsoft review on the Matador shotgun. This is the SSG Destroyer to be exact, although granted it's gone through some changes, most importantly the stock itself, so it's not quite the same if you were to buy the SSG Destroyer, so it kind of looks more like the Charger version of it, but they all more or less perform the same. They just have some slightly different tweaks to it, and I'll go over some of the changes that we've made to the shotgun and why. So, but I'll also obviously give you the brief rundown of how this gun operates if you're thinking about getting yourself a shotgun like this, a gas pump shotgun to be exact. So this is actually a Canadian made shotgun. It's similar to Jag Arms. Matador makes shotguns specifically for Canada, so that way they meet the FPS requirements that we have here. So these out of the box are shooting at least 370 feet per second, at least when it comes to shooting one BB out of the barrel. So you can expect some great FPS and stuff like that. You don't have to worry so much about hop up because, well, it's a shotgun. So, but granted, you will get a good amount of spread and range out of it. So obviously, it's not going to be like rifle range or sniper rifle range, but you get the idea. It's a shotgun. It's meant for close quarters, right? So, as you can see, the barrel for this one is pretty long, so it's not a shorty or anything like that. But despite that, it's got a pretty like decent weight. Not too heavy. Granted, all the weight is back here because this is where the gas tank is held. Even if you have the buffer tube version, the buffer tube is all metal, so apart from the actual adjustable stock itself, so the weight is more towards the back, so it actually makes this gun pretty easy to hold for a long time. All the weight's going to be on this side, so this front half is very light, easy to hold. So this was weighed at around 6 pounds. I was able to weigh this and it was right around 6 pounds, so it was actually pretty easy to hold this for quite a long time. It's not that difficult actually, at least in this case. As far as operating it, it is a gas shotgun. It is a gas powered shotgun, so if you get the buffer tube version, you will turn the gun upside down and you will charge the gun like so. In the manual, it'll say to charge it for 6 to 8 seconds, but I recommend anywhere from maybe 10 to 12 seconds just to be extra sure. You do want to make sure you're filling it a good amount, because they do claim it can fire up to 100 shots, but this does really depend on how much you're shooting in a short period of time, as well as the temperature that you will be shooting at. I find at the airsoft range, when we had the buffer tube style, it would only get through maybe 40 or 50 shots before the gas completely depleted, just because it was pretty chilly in there. So the gun really didn't perform very well, and after a couple shots, after one refill, trying it again, it would just not hold gas anymore, and we'd have to wait for it to, like, you know, warm up and stuff. So hence that's why we actually changed to the fixed stock version, because at least with a fixed stock version of a gas shotgun, you can actually change out the gas tank itself. So that's kind of the pros of having a fixed stock version, at least in the case of a gas shotgun. So to access the gas tank, you take the butt pad here. You want to squeeze the sides of it like so, from both sides. Once you get it, you can remove the butt pad, and right here is where you will house your the gas tank. To release the gas tank, you're just going to push down on this little button here, and that's going to release the gas tank free from the stock. And from here, this is your gas tank for the shotgun. Alright, it's a very big reservoir, very similar to the TM M870. So, and obviously this gun is modeled after the M870 and the Tokyo Marui version of it, but this one has a lot more metal parts to it, so you can be thankful of that. This can arguably give you up to 100 shots or more, maybe 100 to 110, again depending on temperature and the conditions that you are playing in. So when you take your gas can, you fill it through here, give it a couple shakes, charge it for about 10 or 12 seconds, at least in my best suggestion. That's what Tim from Red Wolf suggested when he was reviewing the TM M870, so try to apply the same for this too if you can. It's got a good weight to it, you know, so which is why it makes the rear of the gun so heavy. But once you've charged it, as you heard when this does have a bit of gas in it, always keep a little bit of gas just to keep the seals nice and lubricated and stuff like that. So once you're ready, you can just take the gas tank and insert it back into the gun, give it a good push, and then it'll lock in place. When you take the butt pad, make sure you squeeze the little notches in first. Don't slam it, otherwise you're going to risk breaking the little plastic tabs of it. Just like that, and you should be good to go. From here, we've added a side saddle, so that way you could hold 6 shells off the bat. And then, you know, you could add a optic here, but it's shotgun, so you really don't really have to aim that much. You do have a front sight. Out of the box, it did came with a rear sight, but now with the rear sight removed, literally you'll just align the front sight, level it with the notch at the very middle of the rail, so it kind of is its own iron sight per se. But with shotguns, you really only need a little front sight to aim to your target, so you won't really have to worry about missing your target per se. So each shell will hold 30 BBs, and this shotgun, just like the Jag Arms, will give you an option between 3-round burst or 6-round burst. Okay, so with 30 BBs in each shell, acting like a magazine, if you just do 3-round bursts, you get 10 shots. Okay, for 6-round bursts, you get 5 shots. All right, so that's just based on the math, obviously, right? So you can decide which you'd want to go with, depending if you want more shots before you have to reload, or you want a bigger spread. Okay, now with the shell caddy, okay, I found that it slides out way too easily especially when you turn the gun upside down or sideways even. So my suggestion would be, when you get this, is to put some black electrical tape, wrap it just one layer on the inside, that way it gives it a little bit more friction. So when you slide these in, you can still slide them in pretty smoothly, but it still has enough friction to hold the shells in place. And when you're ready to take these out, you just take your thumb, push it from the bottom, pinch it from the top, push it up. So I'll show you from here. You can use your thumb, push it up, grab it, and then you can load it in from the loading breech underneath. Okay, and then you can obviously work your way from the back to the front. Safety is a cross bolt safety, so if it's pushed in to the left and you can see the red line there, the safety is off. Alright, and if you want to put the safety on, just use your thumb, push it in from the left side, just like that. So now safety's on. Okay, to take the safety off, just use your first finger if you're righty, push it in from the right side into the left, just like that, and that's how you disengage the safety. Alright, now the loading port, alright, this is where the shells will go. Okay, so the way you do this is, if you're righty, you're going to take your thumb, push it in, push this button here. This is the mag release. This releases the loading port door. So I'll use my thumb here to push that in, and it'll open the door up. Then take the shell, do the little loading from the bottom, push it up with the thumb, grab it, push it in from underneath, push it in up until it clicks into place, close the door, and then you just rack the gun just like that, and man, that's a good sound. Okay, and that's a little quick demo of how the gun sounds when you shoot it. Pretty good sound. Sounds better with BBs, obviously. Once you've done your 10 shots or 5, depending on which setting you've had it on, to reload. Okay, the best way I found is to use your thumb again, but before you press it, keep your fingers here so that way the door doesn't swing out all the way, because if you push the button, the shell release, too much, it'll actually kick the shell out, which is nice, but if you want to be able to control it and put it in, keep your fingers underneath the loading door, so that way press it and the door will actually kind of catch the shell, so that way it falls into your fingers like that, and you can simply take it now, put it back into the shell caddy from the hole that you got it from, grab the next one like that, and just load it in from the bottom as well, and rinse and repeat. Okay, now I like to start from the back and then work the way to the front. This is just how I would do it if I were running with a shotgun and gaming with it, but you'll find your own way, I'm sure. So now, racking the shotgun is pretty simple. Obviously, you can just make sure you pull all the way back, just like that. That way it clicks. You can make sure you fully racked it, and then you can just push it all the way. I like how there's texturing at the front here, as well as this little hand stop, so you can kind of use it to get a bit more leverage when you're racking the shotgun, which is pretty nice. So you can have a little bit easier time, especially if your hands get sweaty or if you're wearing gloves. This definitely helps. But what's the best part, in my opinion, is the fact that you can slam fire this shotgun. Slam firing is basically rapid fire with a pump action shotgun. So to do that, just hold the trigger down, or after you've taken the shot. If you want to rapid fire, or if you want a quick follow-up shot, hold the trigger down with your trigger finger and then just rack it, and when you go forward, it'll shoot it again, just like that. And you can just keep doing it like that. Granted, you won't be as accurate, obviously, but it is an option if you are trying to provide suppressing fire or overwhelm your opponents with the slam fire. And also, if you're doing like target shooting, you can kind of shoot some close targets much faster that way. So now to change this shotgun from 3 to 6 shot burst, all you gotta do is rack the pump, and right inside the loading chamber is where you make your adjustments. To have it on 3 shot burst, pull back on the tab here to have it in 3 shot bursts. It's already in 3 shot bursts, but if you want to set it to 6 rounds, you're gonna have to push it all the way forward, just like that. Once it's all the way in the forward position, then it'll be in 6 shot mode. Okay, and then you can simply, you'll have a 6 round burst and 5 shots. Overall, the trigger feels very crisp. When you pull it, there's only like a millimeter or 2 of play before you immediately hit the wall, and it just a nice crisp trigger pull. There's obviously no resets because, well, it's a pump action shotgun, but every time you rack that pump and pull that trigger, it's a nice crisp trigger. So in my honest opinion, if you had to get a gas shotgun for airsoft gaming purposes, or even for an airsoft range, I highly suggest you get one with a fixed stock that has a interchangeable gas tank, because when you're gaming, you could be shooting a lot. You might be in a slightly colder environment, and if you're shooting a lot and then you want to refill again, well, you're gonna have to wait until the gas tank warms up again before you can use it. It's why you have airsoft pistols. You want to get extra magazines so you can switch out to a new magazine, which each magazine is basically its own little gas tank for the pistol. So you kind of have to treat it the same way with the shotgun, because with the buffer tube tank, once you go through these all 6 or the 110 shots and you want to refill again, you can't really go again because the gas tank just gets so cold and just doesn't want to hold gas anymore. Even in the range itself where we ran this at, it doesn't want to shoot after 30 or 40 shots just because it's pretty chilly in there, and every degree of temperature makes a big difference when it comes to gas guns in general, as you might already know. So I personally think if you're gonna go with a shotgun like this, definitely try to get the fixed stock version, so that way you can get a spare gas tank to switch out in between games, or in our case, after somebody uses all 6, then you can just switch the tank out while refilling the shells. And to refill the shells, you really just take your speed loader and just load it in just like that. And so it's really simple. And then the only thing you have to worry about is just changing out the gas tank or refilling the gas tank. So if you are going with the buffer tube stock version, you probably only want to use that if you're using it as maybe like a secondary, or you know you're not going to be shooting like too often, that it's gonna like freeze up your tank a lot and you're gonna run into some efficiency issues. But if you know you're gonna be gaming with this shotgun a lot, you're gonna be shooting it a lot, like rapid fire and stuff like that, definitely try to get the fixed stock version, because at least you can pick up an extra spare tank or so. That way you can switch it out after one game, have another one ready, or if one does start to get cold and stop working, you can switch it out for the other one, gas it, and then you're ready to go once you're refilled your shells and everything. And what's nice too is you kind of don't even need so many shells with a shotgun like this, because you literally just have 6. If you run out in the middle of the game, you can just take these, fill them up, and just keep going. You really don't have to I mean, it might be a good idea to carry an extra gas tank if you can, but otherwise you'll still have more than enough gas in the tank to keep the shotgun operating, at least for up to 110 shots, 100 to 110 shots. Hopefully you would never have to actually shoot that many times, but yeah. So even if you do get the buffer tube stock version of this, right? You can, which is what we did, we switched the stock out for a fixed stock version, and we got a spare tank for it. Once we get to reopen again, because unfortunately at this moment, as I'm speaking, in Ontario, we're in another mini lockdown, so a lot of indoor recreation and stuff isn't allowed right now. So it is what it is. Hopefully in like at least 21 days we'll get to reopen again and let people try this, and we'll have a blast with it, literally. So pretty awesome shotgun, really fun to shoot for sure. And if you're doing this for gaming, it's you're definitely gonna slay in like close quarter situations. So if you have questions, leave them down in the comments below. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys in my future videos. Till next time, peace out.